go from there. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's table. Just want to take care of a couple of things here at the beginning. First of all, my name is Cynthia Mitchell, and I'm just so delighted that whoever is watching this is watching this. The monthly is something that just a few of my friends and I, we sort of came up with as a way to reach out to young adult women in particular as much as we can. It's really for anybody, but all of us, I mean, I have the best conversations with some of these ladies. Some will be on today, some will be on at other times, but I, at 57 years old, have some of the best conversations and learn so much whenever I'm in this circle of women. So we started doing the monthly, again, a mentoring moment at Emma's table. And Emma is simply mother or mama in Hebrew. And that's what we all are. In one way, and some in a couple of different ways. We are mothers, we are life givers, not only to our biological children, but to our community. So we just kind of come together every month, and what we do, we are going through the Me Time Moments calendar that we produced for the STAR community, supporters of trauma awareness. And every month, a young lady has given us a quote, and we just kind of come on and talk from that quote, and then just again share out of our well of experience. And so again, very informal, but we want to make sure that we capture some of the conversations, and because we're not doing them live right now, but hopefully, you know, at the right time, someone will come across a video when they need it. So that's what this is all about, the monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's table. So actually this month, we have our illustrious quote giver with us. Keyannla is with us, and we also have Miss Kimberly with us, and a couple of more people may kind of be chiming in a little bit. And for the record, and it's going to be on recording, I am the weakest link of this little caboodle here, because I always forget about the scheduling. I always mess it up, and so I kind of got the message out at the last minute, so some of them couldn't be with us today. So if you kind of catch these videos here and there, you're going to see some of the same faces, and you're going to see some different faces, especially if I get my act together and start getting the announcements out on time when we're going to be on live. And you'll also notice you're going to see two me's, because one of my placeholders, I'm trying to be technologically savvy and master two devices. So we're going to see how this works out. But anyway, so here we are. Today is February the 14th. 2021, and this month our quote for the month is, "The greatest wealth is health." And that is a quote, I believe the original quote is from Virgil, I believe, but Keyannla shared that with us. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit, especially as young women too, taking care of ourselves. Wait a minute, I said ourselves, but young women taking care of yourselves when you're young. But when we think about health, it's not just about physical health either. So we just kind of want to cover a number of things. And I think Miss Kimberly is going to give us some insight, even on some of our wealth, our financial wealth, you know, that piece as well. But we just want to kind of talk with you a little bit about that. The greatest wealth is health. So I'm just gonna ask Keyannla. Well, no, back up. Why don't we let Miss Kimberly, if you would just kind of introduce yourself and a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then the same for Keyannla, and then Keyannla, let us know why that quote was important to you, where, you know, kind of why you shared that one. Okay, Miss Kimberly.
My name is Kimberly Robinson. I'm a member of the community here in Aiken, right here in the, I don't even know, downtown Aiken area. I'm a mother of 4, a grandmother of 9, and a great-grandmother who had her great-grandbaby born on her birthday. What an honor.
Woo!
No, they thought it was slick. They know I couldn't forget that birthday. They just want a gift. But nevertheless, I've been here for 30 plus years now. I'm originally from New York. And I have a great desire to see others win. And I deal with it from the health side as a nurse and from the wealth side as a financial professional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Keyannla.
Hello, peace and love, everyone. My name is Keyannla. I don't think I can top Miss Kimberly or Miss Cynthia. Mama sent, she on it. I'm telling y'all. But my name is Keyannla. I am also a mother of four. My friend calls me a Jane of all trades, so I'm gonna just go with that because I will dabble and dip into anything that I can to get knowledge. Anything from health, which I'm currently majoring in health information management, where I'm studying all types of stuff, to military background, to just a little bit of everything. You know, if I can just gain some knowledge, that's where I'm at. The reason I chose the quote of the greatest wealth is health was because in 2020, I dealt with a whole lot. And I would say that that quote always came to mind when it came to not just my physical health, because usually I would stay in the gym, usually I would stay active. But if you know, in 2020, that wasn't always the possibility of happening. But my mental health was being attacked, my spiritual health was being attacked, financial health, my God, was being attacked. But overall, and I'm not gonna cry, overall, I stayed healthy in every sense, in every way. I was able to smile, I was able to push on, I was able to still help others when I could and where I could. Because of that quote, I kept pushing on. And so even till today, 2021 February, after having my fourth baby, I still hang on to that quote of my health is my greatest wealth. Because I know if I don't have anything else, I could be on the street, I could be just down, depressed, anxiety. But I know if I can pull myself up in some way, I can get back to healthy. So that's why I picked that quote.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and of course, when we look at what's been going on with the pandemic, the thing I think about is, and even I think about this like with relationships, right? How if something happens, you know, you think a relationship or even, you know, your health or something takes a negative turn or a bad turn, how well you fare that is determined by how prepared and how whole you were before you went into it.
Amen.
So, you know, I'll be honest. I could stand to get healthier. I mean, I could stand to eat, you know, better. All of that. But it has become more, I'm more conscious about it, you know, in this time. And again, when we start talking about health, again, usually we go to the physical part, but even the mental part, because the pandemic, everything that's been going on, it has been a toll on a lot of people mentally as well. Now I'm you know, okay. So I hope I don't make this confusing. So I was sitting and I'm thinking as I'm talking, even about how I fare through relationships, if you will. But you know what I just thought about? I wonder if some of this is that maybe I have up too many walls still, you know? So it may not be, I don't know that I'm coming out so healthy, or if it's that I'm not all in because I still got walls up. but that's not healthy either. You know, I just started thinking about that, you know, even as you were talking, you know, I'm going, wait a minute, let me examine it myself, you know? Huh. I might have to put,
You just made a valid point there, because I was just talking to one of my close guy friends about that last night. And I explained to him, he was like, Keyannla, he was like, I really don't understand why you're single. And me being me, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly why I'm single. I know, you know. And then I explained to him, I said, most people think of agape love, eros love, you know, the different types of love. I was like, there are two loves that I know for sure that for me, it just ain't happening. I was like, one of them I fear, and the other one I gotta wait for my creator to come back for me to actually experience. I said, he was like, well, which one do you fear? And I was like, I fear romantic love. And he said, why is that? I said, well, you've been hurt so many times after you have been genuine and people still use you and you still try to give your all in everything that you do and you still are being used, baby, eventually you get tired. And y'all, I ain't but 30, okay? So, and I'm not quite 30 yet, but I ain't but 30. But for me to feel that at my age, it's unfair. So Mama Sin, I can understand that, yes, you may have some walls up.
yeah.
The question is, how do we go about healing and tearing those things down?
Now that's the concern. Quite oftentimes our interactions and our engagement bring about better understanding for us. Life as a whole, by us getting older, where we heard things when we were younger, they didn't have a great meaning to us. But as we've gotten older, we understand it better. It has a great impact. Therefore, once we understand it, and I want to say this, ladies, I find this to be true, not just for me, but for quite a few people. Once something hurts you, really hurts you, just once, and it gets to you, that hurt can't happen again.
Yeah.
You gain strength from it. The mental capacity in which you maintain your strength depends on how you're feeding it.
Yeah.
You have to feed your mental strength with spiritual medicine. No, even though you may need other supplements and things from a doctor, you have to engage with the Most High. He will make everything else inside of you connect and work for the good of all. And I mean all of you. All of the walls will come down when it's needed to come down. Every wall that you have up is not a bad thing. It's a protectiveness.
Right.
It's to keep you from go ahead.
No, go ahead, because that was good, Miss. That was good. I heard something in that.
Yeah. It keeps you from having to just remember, take it from a point of the army, the war. That what's that thing, that forge that they put up, that fort?
Fortress.
It's it's to protect you. Psalms 91 is my favorite psalm, is my favorite scripture in all of the scriptures. It really is Psalm 91. And it talks about the fortress and you trusting in him. The walls come down when they are absolutely needed to. So when people, or you even identify yourself as having walls, the thing is, why is that wall there? That's what you ponder. That's what you spend your energy and your time trying to unfold, pull back, peel in layers. You understand? Why are those walls even, why do they even exist?
Right.
And if I haven't grown to a healthy place, where
Right.
where I no longer need those walls. Those walls
Mm,
need to stay in place
yeah.
until I'm able to come from behind.
Right. You know, and it's funny now, I'm thinking back. I had shared something with some young ladies. This was a while back. And I always said to them, you know, basically kind of be protective of yourself and yeah. But then again, you know, now, you know, I'm a little bit older now, and you know, a lot of things have happened, you know, time passed and what have you. And so, you know, when you start looking back, I think sometimes you do sort of kind of question, like, did I really do that right? But Miss Kimberly, that was just actually reinforcement or reminder and an encouragement to me, because exactly what I heard in that, even as I start thinking about my walls, was that a wall is not always about keeping something out or keeping something bad out, but it's also about protecting what's within. Um, and now I could go someplace else with that, but I don't know that I really want to. But I think I'm gonna, because this is actually a mentoring moment at Emma's table. This is what this is about.
That's exactly
Anyway,
right.
so because I tell you, I have seen, and I'm staying with young ladies right now, and I know it can go both ways, but right now this is about women. I have seen some situations where, you know, a woman, young ladies are being kind of taken advantage of, or not even handled as the weaker and the finer vessel, you know, honestly, that they are. And sometimes I think it's because they don't realize it yet. Because I think that was some of my thing. A friend of mine actually said this to me after my most recent relationship, which was a few years ago. But she said to me, she said, Cynthia, she said, I believe that maybe the problem with your first go around was that you didn't know who you were. She said, but this go around, the problem is you know who you are. I was like, whoa, yeah.
And you didn't know who you were, and you didn't know your worth.
Exactly. And so if you don't, how can you expect someone else to, right? You know?
But then you said the latter relationship is because you know who you
That's
are and
yeah,
you know that there's worth. You're not going to forfeit that just on any flim flam, anything.
exactly.
You're going to have that wall in place to
Exactly.
protect it.
Exactly. You know, I didn't even know this was going to go this way, but now so I wonder. And so this is what I've been doing. And Kimberly, I don't think you have one. But
How can I
there are
get
a
it?
few ladies that did get one of our calendars, and there is Keyannla on there somewhere. Yeah, we did the calendar. And so each month where
Okay.
I have the quotes, I left
Okay.
space for journaling and note taking
Okay.
through our conversations. And so that's what I'm doing now, is writing down some of these notes, you know, so that I can go
Okay.
back and look at them and be encouraged, you know, even down the road. But now that we've gone this way with that health part, right? Because now, so we're tying health and wealth. So if my emotional and mental health about me is intact and in place, that's where I really began to kind of get an understanding of my wealth too. You know, it goes that way, because I really hadn't thought about that until we start talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's amazing that today is
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day and we have went this way with this conversation,
It is.
because
My.
yes, I didn't think about it until just this moment that today is Valentine's Day and we are talking about our emotional, our mental health,
Yeah.
and like you were saying, our mental health, and they go is just like this.
Yep.
They
That's
just
right.
like this.
Yep.
And when we understand, and I'm loving the fact that you guys use the term worthy and our worth,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
because
Yes.
this is something I'm learning.
Excuse
This
me,
is something
ladies.
this is something I am learning. I'm learning who I am what my worth is. Because I'm learning as a young lady, I don't have to be strong all the time.
Exactly.
I don't have to be the most logical and smartest in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't want to be. And the reason is because I came there to learn something. I don't have to be the prettiest in the room.
That's right.
I don't have to be. And I'm learning that because no matter where I go, my light is going to shine.
Ooh,
Regardless.
ooh,
Regardless. And ain't
ooh.
nobody going to dim that. Ain't nobody going to dim that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, to find someone who's not going to be intimidated by
Woo.
such a task of saying, hey, my wife or my lady is walking beside me, my queen, my empress is walking beside me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's shining bright. That's my little diamond. But he ain't intimidated by that little diamond because he's also pushing his light onto me. And he understands that my light also shines.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I ain't gonna cry today.
And the main thing, Keyannla, how do you say your name, Keyannla?
Keyannla, everyone actually calls me Kiki in the community.
Okay. The only measuring rod that you need to measure yourself against is the word of God.
That is correct.
There's nothing, no other person, no other vessel.
That is
the only thing you measure yourself, your ability, your capability, you measure against the word of God.
That is correct.
And the righteousness that he's poured into you, like you said, your shine is gonna shine. And if the folks can't handle it, tell them to get some shades, baby.
That's right. That's right.
She said, become that Proverbs 31 woman, that Titus 2 woman. That's what I just heard from her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, but now we're gonna keep it very, very real, because we know this, and we've all experienced some things, and so we probably a lot of these words we've had to use late at night to encourage our own selves. But now, again, if some young ladies are gonna, who's ever gonna kind of maybe stumble across this, let's be real. There is still what people deal with, loneliness. And honestly, I desire companionship. I do. I would love to have somebody to, to do different things with. I really want to start a farm. I want some goats. I got to get me some goats. I don't know, 20 years in my job, now I want a farm. I don't know, but but someone, to kind of to do things with, and because I think there are some things in us just naturally as women, we're caregivers and nurturers, and so I would love to have someone to, kind of spill all of that on. But at the same time, having, experienced some things, as a matter of fact, I saw a quote on Facebook one day that really kind of sums it up. And it said, "You might not be my peace, but you darn sure ain't getting ready to be my aggravation." Woo! And it didn't say, I don't think it said aggravation. I think it said something else. But, but I think, again, at this ripe old age of 57, I think that's where I have arrived. However, I would be lying if I said, well, yeah, sometimes I think it would be great, or to have a companion, or even just someone to say after I'm out all day, all night, and may have to get called back out some nights to go kind of deal with something or whatever. It would kind of be good to have somebody to just even care if you made it home. So I get that. But at the same time, I think when you really, again, start kind of lining up what is your worth versus what is not you acceptable, and sometimes you kind of have to make some decisions. That's I think that's what I think. I don't know.
And your assignment. You got to be so in tune to what is my assignment, because assignments don't always come with buddy partners.
That's true. That's true.
sometimes in order for him to get what he needs out of you,
Mhm.
like he said, he's a jealous God. He
Yeah,
means that.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
And for me personally, Miss 62-year-old Kim, I give my all in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. And even though I've gotten to this age now where God wouldn't come second to that, but he wouldn't come second to that. But sometimes I might kind of put him on the back. I'm gonna get to it, but you understand. And he doesn't want that, because
Mhm.
what he
Mhm.
requires for you to do is what he requires for you to do, and it's
Mhm.
in his timing. It's not my timing where I want to set it aside or put it on the back burner.
Right.
So, um, yes, I'm older than a lot of young women in this world. I have four. My eldest is 43. My
Mm.
baby is 37. Well, she'll be 37. So I have a lot that I have to implement, I have to demonstrate, I
Mm.
have to live before them
Mm.
in the manner in which, for them to gain their strength and really believe it, to know that it's true, it works, they have
Mm.
to see it. They
Mhm.
have to see this.
Mhm.
Now they've seen some failures. They're gonna see more. They're gonna see some things where you set goals and may not always reach them.
Right.
But the practices that they see their mom today, 2021, in the
Mhm.
last 10 years, is, I can pretty much say that they understand that there comes a time in your life that you have to make the hard decisions. You said, Cynthia, decisions. You're gonna
Mhm.
have to make them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when you are a mother, and all of mine are, it comes sooner than later
Yeah. Yeah.
to making those decisions.
Yeah. That is absolutely the truth. And because I was thinking too about first of all, when I first sat down to start thinking about, okay, we're going to get together and talk a little bit today, I started talking about I started thinking about 3 John 1 and 2, where the scriptures say that, and I believe it's 3 John says, I would wish, beloved, that ye would be in health and prosper, even as your soul prospers. Be in good health and prosper, even as your soul prospers. That was one of the first things that I began to think about, how health, prosperity. And I do understand that when we start talking about prosperity, again, it is not all about the financial pieces. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. But when I don't have any money, my whole everything
But
is out of whack.
tell the
You know?
truth.
That
Tell
day
the
is
truth.
messed up when you ain't got no cash, I promise you.
They said, now they had the saying, which was very wrong back in the day, that for the love of money is evil, or however that saying is. It's not, it's what you do, what you put your money on, that makes it evil or not. The things that you do, you can't do anything in this world without money most of the time.
Exactly.
There's
And I
nothing. You
yeah, I
can't
think
even, you can't be born without money. You can't die without
that's
money. You
that's
better
right.
understand.
That's right. And I do get it. Yeah, we're not to love and go after and that be your thing. We don't love money, but I also know that
No,
money
not that.
answers things. Money answers all. Money answers things, and I got some things that need to be answered.
Yes, it
Okay,
do. Okay.
so I started thinking about that, and because I really wasn't even thinking so much about, again, that emotional piece, and I wasn't even thinking about it's Valentine's Day, but I've actually looked up some of the origins of Valentine's Day. That's not something that I cling to anyway. I don't do that, so it had not occurred to me, but I did again think about that relationship between, sometimes when the coffers are low, when the funds are low, that physical feeling. And so, and then on the other hand, on the other side, when we're physically fit and we're walking, you know, we're hydrated, you can maybe be without some other things, but then that helps balance you out. So, I mean, it's just a holistic view, I think, that, you know, that we've really got to not just look at, but really kind of start practicing better. And maybe I'm just talking to myself because I know I need to do a couple of things different.
You know, when you mentioned about the money thing, my father, may God forever rest his soul, used to explain to me as a young girl. He said, a girl wants to feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my daddy and my mama always taught me, your mate, yeah, he's the one that's supposed to provide and protect, but you always keep a little blanket on the side. Because you're gonna want to feel secure. So I completely agree with that fact of when your funds are looking funny, you don't want to have fun, you know,
That's
because
right.
you don't feel like, oh, I'm good, I'm cozy, you know, you don't feel that. Even like now, like I'm 3 weeks postpartum. And I went to my doctor and I was like, yeah, I have a high level of anxiety right now.
Mm.
And she's like, okay. She said, either you could take pills or you could do light workouts. If you know me, you know my option already was light workout. And the reason that is because I realized the older I get, the lower I'm slowing down. I'm slowing
Mm-hmm.
down. So I gotta keep pushing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, my mental health gonna end up shaking before my body.
Yep.
That's right.
You know? And
Yep.
I talk to women all the time. I talk to young girls about it all the time. Like, you gotta watch what you're putting in your mouth. You
Yep.
gotta watch what's coming out of your mouth. You gotta watch what you're doing with your body.
Yeah.
Because, honey, I done did some things and it ain't cute. Okay.
Mm.
So you gotta watch it because everybody's watching you. You gotta carry yourself with dignity, with pride. You gotta know you that jewel, baby girl. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta know that. You gotta learn that. And I'm still learning. I
Yeah.
am. I can't even lie. I'm still learning it. But when it comes to being healthy in those senses, physically healthy, I love being physically healthy.
Yeah. You
I'm getting on a vegetarian diet. I'm getting ready to get back on my vegetarian diet. It was hard. It's been hard. I am, you know, trying to stay hydrated, trying to work out as much as I can right now. It's just, you know, mentally healthy. That's the hardest thing. As you said, sometimes having that companion to go and talk to, sometimes it helps with that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I can say with my ex-husband will still call me up sometimes when he's having a mental breakdown and be like, hey, Kiki, I just need someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be there for him. Can I say I can call him up in the same situation? I don't know. But but the fact that I do have people that will literally call me like, hey, Kiki, I just need someone to talk to me, tell me it's gonna be okay. You know, and I'm like, it's gonna be good. Let's go to the park, let's walk around, let's get some fresh air. You know, just those little aspects of just telling somebody, hey, I love you.
Yeah.
You beautiful. You awesome. Like, the world ain't crashed down on you. Yeah, things might look bad, but it ain't crashed down on you yet. Just those little things helps with mental health. And I think a lot of us forget to do that, not just for other people, but for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we don't love on ourselves enough.
Well, you know, Kiki, in particular, as women of color, we are always taught that, you know, we're to be strong. And as a matter of fact, on the front of this calendar, as I celebrate you, young, beautiful, melanated women, the calendar says we celebrate your resourcefulness and resilience. Your
That's my word.
Yes.
That's my word.
but we're kind of taught, because Sierra, I remember a few times, you know, when they were growing up and you know, getting ready for school sometime in the morning. I remember this one day. I wish she was on here because I don't know if she remembers it. She said, "Mommy, my stomach hurts." I told a girl, mine too, come on, let's go. Because we had to go. We had school, we had work. But you know, and we teach ourselves and then teach our children, and I think our young women of color too, in particular, to press through. Or, you know, we got to find that balance.
That word, that balance in that, because I cried. I think I was about 7 months pregnant, and I called one of my close friend girls, and I'm a crier, but I'm not a crier, if that makes sense. And I called one of my friend girls, and I'm like, she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I can't do this no more. I was like, I'm tired of being strong. I want to take the cape off. I said, I'm tired of always having to, when someone else is, you know, I just want,
right.
You know, I just want to be that weak one for once. Yeah. I don't want to have to be the one that just has to just keep going. I don't want to do it. I want to put it down.
Everything up. Yeah.
Yes, like I want to just put it down for once. I don't want to do it. And the word that she said to me, she said, look, she said, you one of the strongest people I know. She was like, not only mentally, not only emotionally, but physically. She said, put it down. Take the cake off if you need to. Stop. Yes, stop. She said, first off, you're pregnant. Second off,
hormones all out of whack.
Second off, everything that I dealt with in 2020, as far as losing everything in that apartment fire, as far as being pregnant and the father walking out of our lives, she said, you ain't broke down not once. She said, this is your moment of truth. She said, back off, look at it, analyze it, and stop whatever is that gonna bug you. If it ain't gonna serve you in this moment, don't deal with it. Don't.
It's because it's in our week when the Most High is strong. That's when He has the opportunity to be weak. So it's really kind of like we're gonna take on and be God if we got to be strong all the time. But it's in our weakness that He is made strong, you know.
And we gotta know that, Cynthia. We gotta know that.
But know it, and you know what? So last month when we talked about faith over fear, our takeaways in the reflection of last month was remember who He is, remember who the Most High is, remember who I am in Him, and then get moving. So you so it's kind of like that same thing, which what you were saying. I know I have had a couple of we, you know, when I was just really baffled by some things, you know, that had transpired, and I was going through my little time or whatever. And it was actually after my most recent relationship. And I think I took about 3 months where all I did, I went to work and came home, came home. And one day I was laying on the side of the bed and I said, okay, wait a minute. And I'll probably get into that a little bit more because I don't want to sound flip or anything. But Kimberly said something a little earlier. I kind of had realized, you know, my assignment in my life. So again, with my emotional kind of thing, there is a little bit of a detachment with things because I've got assignment, I've got work. I can't return to the Most High with this stuff in me that I'm supposed to leave here. What am I taking it back to Him for? So there was that bit of emotional detachment anyway. So I began to question some stuff and I was like, okay, God, hold on a minute now. You know, what's really going on? But here's where I'm going. When I was ready to hear what the Most High really had to say, then that's when He was able to tell me what He needed to say. You know, it was like I wasn't ready yet. I hadn't processed. And so when I remembered then, and then He brought some things to my remembrance where I know He brought me out. I can't even get into that now. It would take us too far down a rabbit hole. But it was so clear that was the first thing. When I sat up and I began to question, the first thing came to my mind was a situation where I know it was the Most High that saved my life. Then another one where I know he provided. He just started flooding me with remembrances. I remembered who he was. And then he began to share with me who I am. It caused me to remember that. And the next thing was get up and get to moving. What, lay here and die? I think not. I think not. I write this in my book, in that first book. My book. I write this, and I'm telling you, sometimes he has to bring it to our remembrance. I think I just posted this the other day on one of my little quirks or excerpts or whatever. I said something like, life happened to me and I was left with a broken heart, shattered dreams, and one simple decision to make. Lay down and die or get up and fight. I'd rather fight than switch. We ain't doing that. We ain't going out like that. So and now I'm thinking about boxing and sparring. You don't wait till you get in the ring in a fight.
You gotta practice. That's right, baby.
Yeah.
That's right. Put it in
You
practice.
gotta train. You definitely have to train.
That's what I'm saying.
About 5 years ago, and I'm talking to Keyannla, Kiki. It was a little more than 5 years. It's been a few years now, where I didn't, until I read the Bible a little more and got into depth and did research, background, the commentary, all of that stuff, to find out that encouragement is a ministry. So when you was talking about your friend doing, that is a ministry. And if God has cut you out for that, you might lay that cake down, but guess what, little lady? You gonna pick it back up. you gonna pick it back up because he builds us. What's that word, Cynthia? Forward tough for those things where we can get in that boxing ring. Yes. And a lot of times where you don't realize you have the strength, the resilience, because he's created that within you. Only thing you could do is, like Cynthia had those moments of memory, is to remember. Because she can look where she is now and she knows that she's not where she was. Yep. The only thing she had to do was continue to give him the credit. Kimberly, glorify him.
Kimberly, do you
know? Go ahead,
I'm sorry, but do you remember we were on that call Thursday? And so they were talking about sharing and going back, somebody remembering what the name, and they said there's resilience in remembering.
Yes.
On that call.
Yes.
So
and then once the resilience is in the remembering, the resilience can get back into you once you remember what it was all about. You understand? It never left you. Yeah. You got to beef it up.
But see, so the greatest wealth is health.
Yes.
So how do we fare these tough times and go through this? We have to practice daily healthy habits, healthy actions, healthy thoughts, healthy practices. Y'all, I can't sit up in here. We just went to the lady birthday party. They gave us that cookie thing. I'm getting ready to go in there and eat that thing because it looks so good. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do that. Every day we have to practice those healthy things. Think on those things that are wholesome and pure. We can't sit and just watch degradation and foolishness, letting that go into our ear gates and eye gates and rotting away at our insides.
You are what you eat. You eat that, that's what you become. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why the young parents don't, and I can't knock them because they're young, they haven't gotten to the place of understanding that the degradation that those children are listening to and all of that stuff, that's going to make them who you can't expect them to be something that you haven't helped create.
That you didn't put in there.
That you didn't put in there.
You
They are spewing out what it is that's been shared with them.
Yep.
I told them the other day, I said I was on an assignment, a private duty assignment a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
And the little baby's mother that I was taking care of, we were talking, and she said she doesn't go, she's 31. She said she doesn't go to church anymore, but she is very much into the Lord, her and her mother. You know, it's the organized religious stuff that keeps them away, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I told her, because I said I believe one of my callings is with the youth. So I would love to hear you expound upon things and talk to me. I won't know how to fix nothing if I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the perspective
Mhm.
of young people are if I don't engage
Mhm.
and conversate with them.
Exactly.
So she
Exactly.
was talking, and one day she said, well, and I don't even know how we got on this conversation, but she said, just like that scripture says, Miss Kim, you train up a child in the way that they should go. She said, other people need to understand when people are racist and murderers and all of those things, some training somewhere or another came about.
Mhm.
So we as believers, when
Mhm.
we see that, we know that they are still creations of God. We have to pray for them, for something, for a light to come from somewhere, if it's not us.
Right.
But
Right.
we have to pray. We can't condemn them. We can't put them down with our mouth. Those are not the things that we as believers should be doing. If a child has been trained, we look at those third world countries. They train those children how to kill and shoot and all of that. This is so serious. If you have taught and been taught this from a child, then that is what you're going to be.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
take the time to put in them Jesus Christ, then that I believe that they're not. I'm not saying they're not going to face challenges in the world, because we are in the world. We're not of the world, so the
Right.
challenges are going to come. But how do you think it'll fare if you never put any word in it? It's
Right.
just going to be, you know. So
Right.
she said, well, and I thought about that. I was like, because this is, I'm not trying to be ugly. This was a Caucasian family. So living inside the home with them, you get to learn about a lot of their ways of thinking and so forth and such. So this was before the election, and they had a whole lot of conversation, and because of Trump, they were Trump followers, supporters. So I said, he got a sense of humor. He put me right there in the middle of that. You understand, to see how I would fare. And the mother came over, the mother of the young lady, which is the baby, my patient's grandmother. And she started this conversation about, I just hate that Cuomo. Y'all know about the governor of New York? He think he is so smart. He told everybody in New York, if they help or give a vaccination to anybody other than a homeless or a drug addict, they're gonna get $1 million fine. He's only doing that to kill two birds with one stone. He's trying to get rid of the homeless um, people and the drug addict. And if it's a bad vaccine, they're gonna blame Trump for that. I just hate him. I just hate him. So I let all of them talk, and then I said, well, I said it could be another reason why he's doing that, because these people are already in a depleted status. Their health, they can't get health care. They have no money. They have no home. If the vaccine works on those issues and it actually be successful, they'll tell you that if somebody like me and you, who we go to the doctor and we have health care, it should be, I said, it didn't have to be that. She said, you know what? I never thought about it that way. But I was just trying to bring another light to it. It don't have to be ugly,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
man to be doing whatever he put it into effect. But I said he could be because he wants to show that the vaccine is really good. And if it works on people who are already challenged
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and don't have proper health care, so and it works and gets them to a better place, you know?
Right. Right. So what I heard in that was no matter what situation you are put in or we are put in as we got to be that light and bring that balance. That's what I heard in that. So here's the thing. I wanted to make sure, well, first of all, if I have to summarize one takeaway from our conversation today, one thing is the greatest wealth is health. So what we have to do is practice healthy habits every day in our thinking, in our living, in our doing. Practice healthy habits every day.
That comes with
You
spending
ladies,
all everything.
so you tell Miss Keyannla, what's your one takeaway?
Well, it pretty much summed it up. It doesn't matter which health practice that we're practicing. If we're practicing healthy spending, healthy lending, you understand everything, and you have to give it thought.
Yeah.
You have to give it thought. You have to make sure that there's some preparation in before you begin the process of all of it.
Right.
You got to think about what you're going to eat. You got to think about what you're going to spend. You're going to think about what you're standing in need of. You're going to have to prioritize.
Right.
So it's you have to be mindful of all the healthy practices that you're taking, regardless of what area of your life that you're taking that healthy step.
Right. And you and I are probably gonna have to come back. I didn't know which direction we were going today. That's why I like doing these. Because again, when I talk to these women individually, I talk to you all individually. I am so blessed every time. So I'm like, hey, let's just get on and record it for the world to see, right?
That's right.
I didn't really know which way it was going to go, but Kimberly, I want you and I in particular, we're going to come back and talk about some marketplace maneuvers, talk about our finances and things too in particular. But Keyannla, a takeaway from today, darling, then we got something else we got to do.
One takeaway that I will take away from today is to remain conscious and aware of my thoughts. Because as you guys have stated, as you lovely, lovely queens have stated, is that it starts right here in our mind. What we put in our mouth, what comes out of our mouth, what we do with our body, how we even feel about somebody. It all starts right here in our mental. So I will definitely take away the process of making sure I'm more aware of what I'm thinking. And, and that will help me to become more aware of what I am putting out into the universe as well. We'll definitely be more aware of that.
That is
the
really
walls don't only keep out bad things; they protect good things.
So it's something. Keyannla, you weren't with us last time, and Kimberly, you weren't either. But this time, we have to switch. That's right. It's time to switch gears now.
Okay.
And so what we do now, we got to go into Emma's soup pot. I have some questions here. And I'll be honest with you, these questions actually, I've had these for a while, most of these. A few years back, I did something, it was a women's conference. And as a part of it that weekend, we did something called Soup for the Soul Sisters. So I had my pots at a couple of different salons, and I was doing a little something on the radio at the time. So I was getting it out there for the women when they went in certain salons, look for the pot, write your comment or question. And the rule was you have to ball it up. You ball it up and then throw it in the pot. So the weekend before the conference, that Friday, I actually went to all of the salons, got the little pots, and then when we got there on that Saturday morning, I dumped them all in a big pot, had on my little apron with the logo and my big wooden spoon, which I don't know where my spoon somewhere, and just stirred them up, right? And then we pulled them out and started dealing with them one by one. Honestly, we've done this a couple of times. we've never gotten to all the questions, because normally after about the third, maybe fourth question, we are somewhere else. Okay. So, and I actually said that I was going to possibly write a book, kind of do something, and that still is a possibility. But so what we've been doing the last few times when we finish our discussion, this is my magic wand. We make all things right in the world with this, and then we pull a question. And now let's see what it says. And okay, and then we'll just talk about it, and we'll just see what it says. So this question, and it's anonymous, it says, should a couple get divorced over cheating? Anybody wanna take a stab at that? Just give your opinion, because honestly, I don't even know who the person was that wrote this. It's been years. They may never see it, but I like going in Emma's soup pot and talking about it. Okay, so what you think? Forced over cheating.
They need to go to counseling first. That is what I believe. I offer counseling because since God doesn't look at any sin as greater than the other, and keep him in the midst of your counseling and everything. So it needs to be somebody who's a spiritual counselor as well. And let it go from there. I don't automatically suggest or recommend divorce.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to co-sign with Miss Kimberly on that one. Go with counseling first. Yeah, counseling, spiritual counseling, keeping God in the center of that relationship. I'm sorry, that brought bad feelings. I'm like, hold on. But yeah, definitely go to counseling. Went there a few times myself. But the one thing that I was missing in that equation, ain't gonna lie, was God. I was not focused on God at that time. And I think if he and I were both focused on God, we probably would have made it. But good chat.
Well, then here we are today, 3 for 3, because my answer to that is not over cheating, because I believe that by the time the relationship is at that point, something else was broken, way back down the road. Now,
unless they were just a dog from the beginning.
Okay, well, and I was gonna say, and this is my 57-year-old, a little bit more seasoned self talking. My 27 and 30-year-old self probably had a different answer. Yeah, but because too, again, something else is already broken by the time we get there. So there's the answer to that. We're basically 3 for 3. No, not necessarily. That's not the answer if someone cheats. So hey, let me ask you ladies, do you want to pull one more from Emma's soup pot, or you just want to wrap it up there? Because it's up to you. You tell me what you want. Y'all want to do
like
one?
That sounds like some good vegan soup. We should pull one more.
Vegan soup. Okay. So we're gonna have to figure out sometime how we're gonna do a soup pot situation and get some more stuff put in here. Okay. This one says, why do some women let their children run wild, no discipline?
Because what I can tolerate, others can't. And I don't, this is not Kimberly speaking, this is the person. I don't see it as a need for discipline. I'm letting them be free themselves. I'm not killing their spirit, but they're giving me a headache. But anyway, but a lot of parents, stop, Johnny, sit down, Johnny. Johnny, now, Mom, you know better than that. whereas we would have, all we had to do, right, Sam? Give them a look,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it would have been case closed on the subject.
Yep. It's all over. That vegan soup would be done. So what you say, Keyannla?
I am working on that look because I have 4 boys and
Ooh,
I'm the only girl. I had 3 older brothers and now I have 4 sons. And my boys will literally take me there. But now they have learned when mama says, all right, get your butt cut if you want to. They know mama will take it there. I will try everything from talking to you in the nicest, calmest voice to literally making you do wall sits before I take it to the whole physical of getting your butt cut. But if I had to take it there, mama will take it there. My mama and daddy didn't play that either. It went from telling you one time to literally
that
get your butt cut.
But there's a balance too, because when
with the grandkids,
yeah,
I
but
get in trouble.
but
Mama, you ain't say that for us. Mama, you ain't.
but I think I used to try when my children were younger. I used to I would tell them, I'm gonna whoop you, I'm gonna whoop your butt. I'm gonna get
How
that
many
butt.
times you tell them that?
But I would tell them, but I'm going to tell you why. So we'd have the conversation. I want you to understand, this is why. And I think the scriptures tell us nobody loves discipline at the time that is happening. But later on in life,
Uh-huh.
it reaps a great reward. And I don't want to say this too harshly, but I would, if some parents or someone, kind of catches this video and realize that they do kind of just let their children run wild, if that be the case, except if it's your grandchildren, that's different, but they can do what they want to do. But consider this. How are you showing your love for them? Because the Father chastises, corrects those that he loves.
That's right.
So, we love our children. So with that, we have to put those boundaries and put those things in place. Again, we're back to those walls.
But that's
It's
what you
about,
see that word, you say boundaries?
yeah,
That's what we have to teach.
yeah,
Boundaries, Sister Cynthia. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Boundaries. And
So,
my thing, I tell my grandson, I love him. He's a prankster and a jokester. I said, baby boy, grandma love you. But the trick is knowing when to quit.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a time and a place for everything. And
yeah,
I'm not trying to kill your spirit and who you are, but there's
right,
a time and a place for everything.
right. So look, so that's it. We're gonna we'll put the lid back on Emma's pot,
All right.
and we'll pull some more out of there next time. Look here. I want to make sure I say this again. The monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's table. This is about young women. And of course I have a heart and a passion, young women of color, but young women, period. This is some of my most rich times in life. If I don't see Kimberly for years and we run up on each other somewhere, it's
It's
over.
just like time hadn't passed.
Yes.
Ain't it
And
beautiful?
we gonna stay there until we get it out.
Don't
And
you love it?
and Kiki, really, as a young woman, and she'll tell you, whatever I do, I don't care whether she come or not, participate or not, she getting a text, she getting an email, she's getting a call, because that relationship and everything is so rich and there's so much wisdom. And so the monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's table is a part of what we do as the STAR community, supporters of trauma awareness. We want our community to understand the realities of trauma,
Yeah.
and then engage the resources. Go to our website, www.starcommunity.online. You'll see a few of the other things that we have going on. I think I think it's up, and but you'll just see a little bit more about us. And I think there's a connection to some of in the community, a few resources. But if you have
could
any
you give us, could you give me that again?
it is www.starr community.online. And yeah, we just support trauma awareness, you know, because again, there's so many things. We could have a million conversations, you know, just about women and the different things as a whole that we experience, that we go through, and then how that is manifested and evidenced in our bodies, and then how it impacts us, those around us, and in particular our unborn children in particular, because we carry that. So a lot of things we're passing on to our children, but I think that's another story for another day. We're going to come back to that conversation. And we're going to be coming back with Miss Kimberly. I really thought we were going to get to it today, but we're going to come back with Miss Kimberly sometime, and we're going to talk about some financial pieces in particular, just some things for us to think about, so that doesn't be a trauma in our lives. You know, we can get our
exactly
finances
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So we thank you for joining us today. Anybody have any final words? Oh, I did want to say this because I meant to put the disclaimer up at the beginning. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm really going to get formatted here. Maybe I'll get organized one day. But any views, opinions, or anything of that nature that is expressed by the host, panelists, or guests are our own opinions. And it's just that, opinions, not to be associated with any institution or organization that might be related or connected to us. We ain't talking about nobody. We just talking about what we talking about. Okay. So anything else, Miss Kimberly, Miss Kiki, anything else?
No, yeah, the next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do better, and it won't be the middle of the month that we get this done. Probably in a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, you be my accountability person, just kind of what you were today, because you said, hey, didn't you mention da, 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 da. So yeah, in a couple of weeks.
We need an AP.
Yep.
Accountability partner.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. Thank you for joining the monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's Table. Visit our website, and we'll see you next time. Shalom, shalom.
Oh, I like that.